What up, gents? Welcome to the Simsational Gent. I am your host, Sean C., and today we're going to go over a small portion of the interview between Kevin Samuels and Nicki Minaj. Now, I watched this interview and I got a little bit from it. There are 3 points that I want to bring up from this interview that I think that are going to be beneficial to all of us. I believe that Nicki Minaj exposes a flaw in modern women. Listen, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want more content just like this. And with that being said, let's get started.
What are we talking about?
Well, what do you rate me?
Is that what we're starting off with?
Yeah.
Do you think that men rate women?
No, I thought, because isn't that what you do?
What have you seen of my content? Have you just seen like the clips?
Yeah. I think I always see people calling you and then you tell them you ain't no such and such. You lying to yourself. You ain't this.
What I typically don't do is I don't typically rate people. I ask them if they rate themselves. You seen anything else that I do?
I saw one time when you checked this lady for, I guess it was a white lady or a Hispanic lady, and you was like, oh, you're not gonna come on this show and talk down on black women. That's what the fuck you're not gonna do.
Yeah.
And so again, that was a clip. I didn't see the context really, but
most of the time people take my clips and cut it down to something that's gonna make a viral moment. It's gonna start a conversation. Take the good with the bad.
Now, Kevin Samuels, the godfather of the manosphere, is one of the hottest, most electric speakers that we have currently in the black community. And because of his unprecedented and meteoric rise to success and fame, he is often criticized and scapegoat for the frustration of those who oppose his viewpoint. What we have here from Nicki Minaj is she has come to understand Kevin Samuels in the same way that most women do, through clips and sound bites that are designed to go viral. And when people do that, when women do that specifically, his overall message is lost. Now, Kevin Samuel has always stood by the fact that he wants equitable outcomes for both men and women, and specifically between black men and black women. Now, this man, we know he gets bashed and he gets labeled with all kind of things, whether it be fair or unfair, but that's what happens when you're in the spotlight. And he often gets hit with the he doesn't like black women trope. Now, I believe that if people would take time, specifically the women who come on and are offended by what he says, if they would take time to watch his whole show in its entirety, they would know that this is far from the truth. The other thing is that they would also need to get out of their feelings first.
I usually ask this question.
so let's start it that way.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Dress size?
My dress size? Then the Don said, my dress size, that's a good question. I guess a 4?
All right. And on a scale from 1 to 10, you can't use 7. What would you rank yourself? Fresh face out of the shower, just you.
Yeah.
That's how I always ask the question.
7.
Can't use 7. That's why 7 is the most common answer.
Really?
It's the default answer for most people because they don't want to go too high, they don't want to go too low.
Well, no, it ain't a default answer for me.
Now, it is this part of the clip, the interview, that I got the most from. Modern women are obsessed with their looks, what other people think, what other women think. Now, what I've noticed is that every woman that comes onto Kevin Samuels' show, when he asks them to rank themselves, most women will rank themselves higher than what they ought to. And that's where a lot of trouble comes in. Kevin Samuels points this out all the time. Now, I want you guys to notice how long it took for Nicki Minaj in order to rate herself when asked by Kevin Samuels. Now, I think that she really took a chance and took a deep look within and said, yep, I'm a 7. Now, I want you to think about all the beautiful stars, actors and actresses and models and celebrities that she's seen. And this woman is humble enough to only rate herself a 7. Modern women are not that humble when it comes to their look. I am arguing here today that by Nicki being humble with herself and only rating herself a 7, I think she exposes modern women for their vanity. I think that this is telling of some of the problems men face with modern women. If Nicki Minaj could be introspective about her beauty, then why can't modern women?
I would give you a 9. I would give you a 9 because you have the facial symmetry and you get additional points for eyes. full lips. See, it's not. I'm an actual image consultant, and I'm sure you deal with a lot of people who take your pictures and stuff and so forth. You have a symmetrical face, and so it's much more based upon facial symmetry. It's not based on European beauty standards or anything like that. It's much more based upon what babies, animals, human beings have evolved to find attractive.
Wow.
You get additional points because we've evolved to find more slanted eyes somewhat attractive, especially when they're not on Asian.
Wow.
Now, I already have been seeing videos that are popping up with people thinking that Kevin Samuel has gone too soft on Nicki Minaj. This is the exact same criticism that he got when he interviewed Brittany Renner. I disagree with him that Nicki Minaj is a 9. That's a little high. I think that Nicki Minaj was spot on when she says, I'm a 7. I would concur with that. I would give her a 7. I would have even been more understanding if Kevin Samuels gave her or rated her as an 8. Now, there would be some people that's going to come out and say that Kevin Samuels is a simp, the way they feel like he might have given in to Nicki Minaj and that maybe he was starstruck or something like that. They will say that Kevin Samuels interviews are as soft as Charmin. I personally do not look at it that way. It was Kevin Samuels that made me start making changes to my channel because he talked about one thing. This is a business. So when I look at this as a very smart business move. Kevin Samuels gets enough out of these interviews in order for it to get the views that it needs to get people to want to come on his show. Nicki Minaj wanted to come and talk to Kevin Samuels. Brittany Renner is a come up, okay? It makes sense that she would want to get on Kevin Samuels' show. But Nicki Minaj is a star. She will go down in history. And yet and still, this woman wanted to be on Kevin Samuels' show. Think about that. This is a smart businessman. Tactically, this is brilliant what he's doing. Now, if more stars start looking at Nicki Minaj being on the show and Brittany Renner, and then it's favorable as if they were going on to a talk show. If more stars start to think that it is safe to go there, it's a good place to talk and to get their face exposed to more normal and regular people. Let me say this, we need to stick by Kevin Samuels at all costs. There are a lot of forces that probably want to move to take this man down because they aren't liking what he's talking about. And the thing is, it's like misunderstanding somebody that has good intentions. Maybe the delivery isn't perfect, but he has good intentions. We so critically need this voice in the black community. We need voices like his. Now, I get it. He's supposed to go hard in the paint all the time, right? That's what we feel like, right? But Kevin Samuels is a businessman. I need y'all to get that through your head. Kevin Samuels is a businessman first and foremost. And right now, from what I'm seeing, he's making business moves with every celebrity that wants to come onto his show. Now, if you want to see Kevin Samuels interview a woman that is stuck in her delusion, I want you to click this video right here. How delusional this woman was that Kevin Samuels interviewed. You would not be disappointed.